I will be presenting on the topic of the trauma and after effects of partition, a study of Debarshi Ghosh, the other side of science, and short stories of Sadat Hussain Manto. As we all know, we do have an idea of how partition was for our country. It was an event of pure bloodshed and devastation. A lot of people had to lose their home, their livelihood, or whatever they knew as that of their own, in order to live and settle down in a place of which they had no idea and no connection with. We do have an idea of the background about what happened, how it happened, and who were responsible. But the part which gets misrepresented is the struggle of the common people as to how they faced the partition and what was it for them. As they too laid down their lives, had to undergo their share of struggles as well in this procedure. And in the process, they had to restart again. And primarily during this period, the deep-rooted differences between the two communities also came up to the front, which led to mindless violence, hatred, and leading to generational trauma, of which we are not able to come out as of now, and we still continue to deal under the same. Especially if we talk about the case of women and how the concept of honor got questioned, or rather it became a mockery because we created their notion of honor, but we prefer their death instead of their honor through such killings in order to protect them from the other community or from getting them defiled, and without taking any consideration of what they actually wanted. Of actually what they wanted out of it. Nobody questioned them or bothered to know what they wanted out of it, which also led to trauma and prolonged period of silence from their part as well. I have taken some texts. The first is Debarshi Ghosh, The Other Side of Silence, a seminal work born out of a research over a 10 period of years containing testimonials, interviews, in order to examine what happened on the personal level regarding the event of partition as to how it unfolded for the people, answering several questions which was yet to be answered soon enough. And the second text under consideration is the short stories of Sadat Hussain Manto. This is Koldo, Tobatek Singh, or Thanda Ghosh, examining the issues of identity crisis, sexual violence, and dwindling levels of morality in the society at that point of time. According to the words of the maestro himself, my stories contain the evils of the day, and I have only unveiled them, which he has done using his sense of humor and irony, connecting to with us on a deep level and questioning our choices of life as well. Now, to start with the discussion regarding the other side of silence, our main motto behind writing the work was, I have come to believe that there is no way we can begin to understand what partition was about unless we look at how people remember it. With an emphasis on the human side, she shifts her focus away from the political action in order to understand partition from a layman's perspective. And what a better way to start the work is by discussing how her own family, regarding her own uncle Rana Mama, her uncle had to face a peculiar condition because of the division of land. Her uncle was a Hindu, but he decided to stay back in Pakistan and also took a step ahead and changed his religion as well in order to stay back in Pakistan. He did two things. He not only ended up losing his own family or his own brethren, but also because of being an identity of a convert, he could not get acclimatized within Pakistan himself, as his own wife and children saw him with a sense of suspicion. And I would like to quote one line from him, which shows his mental trauma. Here he says to Butaria, somehow a convert is never forgiven. Your past follows you, it haunts you. For me, it's worse because I have continued to live in the same place. Even today, when I walk out to the market, I often hear people whispering, Hindu, Hindu. No, you don't know what it is like. They never forgive you for being a convert. He somehow landed in a state of in-betweenness. He was both a Hindu or a Muslim at the same time, but could not acclimatize himself or adjust himself to either of the communities, leading to his identity crisis and lifelong trauma. Secondly, in the book, we are talking about Zainab and Bhutta Singh. Zainab was actually sold to Bhutta Singh and he married him. So for her, he became her rescuer. They were sort of leading a life until politics and personal instincts or his personal choices came into the forefront. Chapter 2 regarding property. This is the case of how women were seen as a source of earning property and dominance, because Zainab was solely removed from Bhutta Singh because of property issues. From Bhutta Singh's end, which is not. Okay, for this represents the fact that Zainab's consent was not taken, whether he was married to Bhutta Singh or when her family forcibly took away her from that family and got her married to her cousin in order to retain property. And also the issue of women's honor getting questioned. It can be seen in the case of Bir Bahadur Singh as well, because as he describes proudly that his father tried to kill off their daughters in order to protect their honor from getting defiled by the Muslim community. This is an irony because their honor lies in their death and not in their living. And briefly, I would like to talk about the short stories of Sadat Hussain Manto as well, where in Probatek Singh we see identity crisis and the death at the no man's land reflects Bishan Singh's idea of death as to how he preserved his identity without going over to the other place. And regarding Cole, though, it represents sexual molestations at the hands of her own protectors. Sakina was left in a vegetative state by the very people who promised to rescue her from that land, which is a cause of shock and trauma for her as well. In the case of Thanda Ghosh, it shows the lowering levels of morality in the society, as Ishar Singh, due to his hatred or lust, ended up assaulting a dead body, which caused him mental agony at the end. Thus, I would like to conclude by saying all the retellings in the non-fictional as well as the fictional works shows how trauma was presented or how trauma got acclimatized in the people as they were left shell-shocked due to the loss of identity, as well as the women who had no choice regarding how they would live their life and how their honor got challenged by the very society they tried to uphold higher ideals of honor, but ended up defiling it when according to their own interest. Thank you.
Thank you so much.